Good morning. I am going to do a hopefully quick video with a little tutorial on how to fix or start your CER if you have not done it or if it needs fixing. So I'm going to start with how to view feedback on Schoology, how to view your rubric and any comments that I've made. Quick note, when I sit down to grade, I spend a lot of time and I write a lot of comments for those who turn in their work on time. Once I've sat down and graded the first slew of assignments, if your work comes in late, you sort of lose the benefit of feedback. So if you turned in your work after the due date, after I sat down for that first grading period, you may not have any comments. Or if there weren't any comments necessary, then you may not have any comments. But for those of you who might need revision, you should be able to find helpful tips on what needs to be done. So I'm looking at a student view here, and I'm going to go to grades. So this is how this student would see um, her grades. So here's the characteristics of life, CER, right there. And there's a couple different things you can do. You can look at the rubric here, and then we can go into the doc, and there's many places that I can make comments. I will streamline this as the year moves on. So I'm going to start with the rubric here. So this student got a 3 out of 4. So they may not want to revise it, but they may. So I'm going to show you either way. So if you click on the rubric, you can see that the claim is the answer to the focus question. So I'm not going to go through the whole entire rubric because it's going to make for a very long video. But in this case, an exceeds expectation is an accurate, clear, and complete claim. And this student got that. The evidence is data or researched facts or learning used to support the claim. And this student got an approaching expectations. I know the numbers are weird, but that was just to get it so that it would all total 4 because it was a 4-point assignment. So don't worry about how weird that looks. Anyway, this student, it says some evidence is used to support the claim, but it is not complete. Evidence used is somewhat accurate, appropriate, and or relevant. And then you can see there's a little comment bubble over here. So if you hover over that, it says see notes and doc. Your one piece is great and well reasoned, but you need a little more to really back up your claim. So it looks like this student is just missing some evidence. And then reasoning, they got scientific explanations as to why most evidence supports the claim are present and mostly accurate and relevant. So that's good reasoning. And it's actually likely that the reasoning was very good and maybe exceeded expectations, but there was so little evidence that I couldn't give an exceeds on this. So let's go back to the document. All right. So to do that, you're going to just click on the assignment. Sorry. Okay. And you can click on the submitted assignment here. Sorry, I'm trying. Shoot. Okay. Fudge. So there's a comment right here, and you can see that this student has lots of pieces of evidence here and some backing up of explaining how it meets or does not meet the characteristics of life. And I added a comment that said, adding some of these to your paragraph would strengthen your CER. And the paragraph down here says, zombies are abiotic. So that's the claim. And remember, the student got an exceeds expectation on that. I know this because zombies don't have homeostasis, which shows that they don't have the ability to achieve a stable internal environment. The reason this shows homeostasis is because they are unstable and they don't react to maintain that stability. And I wrote, good, this is one piece of evidence and it is well explained. A few more pieces of evidence would strengthen your argument, and then you could summarize by saying they meet some characteristics but not all, which is required to be considered biotic. So the student has a claim. They have one piece of evidence and one piece of reasoning to back that, but they need a little more to back up their claim. So again, they got a 3 out of 4, so that might be enough for them. But if we're shooting for a 4, they could just revise and add some of those pieces up here. Okay, let's back out of this and, sorry, go back to the assignment, just so we can get you guys where you need to go. So the quickest way that you guys can get to that assignment is to just go to your grades tab and click on it. I'm going to go a backwards way just because. Okay, so you just go to your grades and you can click on it. So, if you recall, we were studying the characteristics of life. There are 7. And in order to be considered biotic, whatever the organism is or the thing you're talking about has to meet all 7 of those characteristics. So, in this assignment and on the day, we did a pear deck that went over what a CER was, and that was the one with the commercial with the girl thinking her father was an alien, and the picture of the kid falling out of the tree into the pond. And remember, the question was, let's just talk about the tree in the pond, was what happened to the boy? Why is he in the water? And the claim was he fell from the tree. Um, the evidence was, well, there were ripples in the water around him. He was wearing a shirt, and the tree branch was broken right above where he fell. And the reasoning is the ripples in the water indicate that he fell in rather than walked in. The fact that he was wearing a shirt, most people who are going swimming, most don't wear shirts. And then the branch breaking right above where he fell indicated that he probably was sitting in the branch and fell in that spot. So there's your claim, evidence, reasoning for why that boy was in the water. Um, so with claim, evidence, reasoning, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Think back to that tree example or the commercial with the girl where she thought her father was an alien, and try to, use that to help you do your work. So for us, the question was, are zombies biotic or are they abiotic? And you all should have a copy of this graphic organizer in, sorry, first time I'm signing on this morning here. You should have a copy of this graphic organizer in your biology folder. But we acknowledge that zombies are fake, right? But we're using it as an example to show that you can write a CER and that you understand the characteristics of life. So you want to consider zombies and you want to consider whether they meet these 7 characteristics. You can check off the ones you think they meet. And if you're going to say that they're biotic, you have to have a way to show that they've met all 7. You don't need to go into all 7, but you want to go into 3 to really exceed expectations. And then you should speak to the fact that they meet the other ones as well, because in order to be biotic, you have to meet all 7. If you're going to say that zombies are abiotic, you have to demonstrate that they don't meet a few of them. And even if they don't meet one, they would still be abiotic, but you want to have multiple pieces of evidence. This was a graphic organizer where you could brainstorm what they do or don't do and which characteristic of life that connects to. And then down here, and you might want to just delete the lines um, just because you're typing, you're not writing, right? So you can just delete the lines and just type a paragraph. Many of the ones that I read didn't start with the claim, they just left it like this. You need to make a choice between biotic or abiotic. So make sure you start your sentence with zombies are whatever you think. Then you go into your evidence and reasoning. Okay. So once you do that, make sure that you submit on Schoology. I did also have several people submit incorrectly. They either submitted a link that I could not see or they submitted and that was actually usually what happened. They would submit a link that I could not see. So there's a note in there. Or some people submitted like, I did it. I need to read it. That's not enough. Okay. So please make sure that it's submitted correctly. There is a video right here, how to submit assignments on Schoology. But just a refresher, let me just jump into this. I'm going to just jump in as a student real quick. If we to just review how to submit, okay? So, sorry. Okay. So, this student has already submitted a couple times, but huh. All right, guys. Sorry. Sugar. Sugar. All right. I'm going to skip that because oh my goodness gracious. Um, because I'm not seeing it the way that I anticipated. But if you watch that video, how to submit on Schoology, or you talk to me or Miss J, we can show you how. All right. So I hope that helps. If it was a little quick, just rewind and give it another watch. Thanks.